and I think I was around 9 or something at the time. My parents, they were both musicians. They were doing a lot of gigs in holiday camps at the time. So I would be trailing around after them, and the DJs were always playing the Starship Trooper song. And I just remember every time I heard it, I would get up and dance. I mean, this was one of my first fascinations with a song, but also the choreography and how that became an imprint also on your mind, so that you weren't just singing the song, you were also seeing, you know, what they were doing as well. So yeah, it was a very special song in my formative years of noticing songs.
And your parents as musicians obviously were a huge influence on you. When you went to those holiday camps, had the seed already been planted that you wanted to be a musician, or front of house, I guess, on stage, dancing and performing and singing? Or was that something that grew with your love and passion for music?
Well, I did have an epiphany when I was about 5 years old, and it didn't make any sense to me, but I remember very vividly thinking, I want to be a singer. And then it was probably 10 years before anything else happened, although music's always been a passion for me, and it's always been a way for me to vent my emotion, and it's always been a trigger for my emotion, and I think that's one of the greatest things about music for me. But I would say it became an obsession at an early age. I mean, Starship Trooper wasn't the best example.
No, it was not really.
But it was a starting point, you know.
I'm going to ask you now, because it kind of teases up for the rest of the week. How do you write? Are you a candles and incense type person where you sit and you're all relaxed and zen?
I burn candles every day. I usually just burn incense when I'm feeling a bit stressed.
Right. But what gets your creative juices flowing? Or do you sit down with a pen and a piece of paper and, I don't know whether you write on a keyboard or a guitar, but do you go in with an idea, or do you get yourself into that right frame of mind where you clear everything, where you talk about, you know, you get rid of your emotions, which you just mentioned there, and then you think, right, I'm going to write something about A, B and C? Or is it the opposite, where you walk in with A, B and C and then just go straight in?
All of the above.
It works though, Cathy.
Well, so all depending on the kind of song I'm trying to write, I will sometimes go in with a melody and a lyric. If I'm trying to do something which is dance, I'll go in with just a lyric. I feel like you need to do a bit of research. You need to do a bit of work to deserve a good song to come out of it. I think you can go in and wing it, but I feel personally that if you have really obsessed over all of the tiny details of music for years, you get to a point where it just comes to you.
So let's get into the next track. It's Madness and One.